to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey. Today we're doing the Crochet Granny Cabana shirt. We're going to get ourselves started today, but we got some details to be able to work out with you that I would like to go over with you. If you don't want to hear me yap, just go to the video description or pin comment and just go to the time marker to jump ahead. For those that are ready to continue along, we are going to be making all of the sizes that you would like to do, but I'm just going to give you instruction. I'm just doing the large size for myself. You can find this information as I talked about in the introduction of this stitch along, that here's all the sizes that you have. So here, I think I mentioned in the beginning is that I don't have enough yarn in order to make this. So I have enough yarn in the sense that I have the same brand, but I don't have 4 balls of the same color. So I have all these partial little balls, red heart roll with it Melange, and I decided to do a color strategy, which I talked about in a short, but I will go through that with you today. We're also going to be talking about, we have the instructions available to you, but we're also going to be talking about the actual join connection that you're going to be able to see within the diagram work. We have to make 2 panels exactly identical, but what happens is if you make 2 identical, when you're looking at the front of the project, one side, if you make identical, is going to have all the joins here, and the other one will be on this side, but on the reverse of it. So what I'd like to do to show you is to be able to show you how to make sure that the connection will then stay consistent so that it stays on the same side of the garment. So I wanted the join connections to be behind me, not in front of me, so it's not as much photographed if people are taking my photo. And I'm going to show you how to be able to change that really quite easily without really changing the pattern much at all. And that's kind of our goal. Let's go through color strategy first. If you're doing all the same color, you don't need to worry about this. Okay, so if you just have 4 balls of red heart roll with Melange, you just continue to crochet until the cows come home. For myself, I was not able to do that because of my partial balls, and the way that I do something like this is that I start both panels at the same time. So if I want a certain amount of rows to be a certain color, let's just say I did 3 rows of this green here, of whatever ball that I chose, I use the same ball and I would do the other 3 on this side, the same color. So I will literally be growing both of the panels out at the same time so that I understand where I am. So if the next one I have a different color ball, I do the number of rows that I want, maybe there was only 2, then I will come back and then crochet this side. So therefore, when it's being put together, even if the color tinge is different, it's still from the same ball, therefore it stays within the same family. Let me show you an example. So this is where we're going to start. And so if you're doing color strategy like I'm showing you, the first 5 rows, I had enough to be able to do 5 rows. And then what I did is I started the second panel using the same ball, but doing 5 rows on that side. I didn't have a lot of this color, but I had enough to be able to do 2 rows on this side, and then on the other one I did 2 rows. And so what I'll do is that I'll keep bouncing between the 2 panels to make sure that I end up with the same kind of color sequence. So on the other one, this may not be the exact same tinge of the same ball. It could be very different because the yarn is transitioning on its own. But because there's consistency like that, you can see I switched back to this ball here for 3 rounds, and then I did it for the other side, and so on and so on. That is how I do my color strategy, and I have enough yarn to be able to do this, but I just did not have enough yarn to be able to do it all with the same coloring. So I'm going to now take you to our starting point, and we're going to do that next. So our starting point is in the center of the sleeve. So we're going to create the sleeve first, and then we work our way and come down just slightly, and then we just go in a continuous revolution. However, at the end of each row, we're going to turn our work and go back in the opposite direction. So we are just going to continue to follow the same thing. So we're not adding any extra of these 3 groups of 3 at any point. We just got to make sure that we're going to do the opening sleeve area to the size that you're going to want to do. You may, just for practice for yourself, may just try one, do at least 2 rows, and then try it on and make sure that your arm can fit into this thing. And if not, you'll have to adjust, and if it's too big, then you'll have to adjust down. And that's something that you're going to want to decide for yourself. For me, the large is based on the measurement, and it also fits my arm. So you're going to want to do that. So you're going to have a total of 19 rows all together. Even though mine is in a striping format, you'll still have 19 rows regardless of the size, but the opening itself is different for each one of the sizes. Now there is a crochet diagram available to how this thing is getting started, and we are going to start off, and you are going to then chain the number and then come back around, join it, and then chain a new number. And for each one of everybody, it's only going to be chaining 12, so it doesn't matter the size. However, this here changes as per the sizing in the charting, and we'll talk about that. In the smaller size, you're only going to have 17 of these groups of 3 double crochet all the way around. So you count this one all the way around and count this one where it's joining. There should be 17. In the next size up that I'm doing, there is 19. And the next size up, there is 21. And then in the final largest size, there's 23. So this is going to dictate the circumference of your sleeve. And the distance coming down remains the same for everybody. So we're going to then, let's go look at the sizing difference, and then we're going to grab our hook and begin. On page number 2, which you'll find linked in the video description for the pattern link, you're going to notice is that there's 4 different starting chains. This is the smaller size, this is the next size up, and next size up. So because I'm doing the large, and it's indicated that, and if you saw it on the front page here, the first number is this size, the next is this, so on and so on. I will literally come in with my pen and I will circle that number. So if there is no changing of information depending on the size of the project, then everybody does the same thing. We're going to notice is that when we create this beginning chain, which we need to do it a little bit loosely, we are going to follow the same instructions going all the way around and so on. So you'll notice that the remaining of the opening of here all the way to 19 rows, all the way down here is just going to be the same for everybody. So it's nice and simple. So what I want to do when I get yourself started, I'm going to give you options to be able to move that connection of the joining so that they're both consistent with how you're going to wear it. Again, this is not in the pattern. This is my own experience sharing that with you. And if people are not following the tutorial, they'll never know about it. So we're going to begin, and we're going to start with our 5.5mm size I9 crochet hook and our red heart roll with it melange. Let's begin. So if you skipped ahead, you just missed a whack of information, which is fine. You know what? I don't like to hear myself talk, and I don't like introductions that long anyway. So we're going to begin, and you are going to start with a slip knot. This is almost a beginner level kind of project, just so you know. So we're going to chain the number that matches the size that you would like to do. The small size is chaining of 48. The next size up is 54. The next size up is 60, and the final size is 66. You'll see that in the pattern when we're doing that. I'm going to give you a tip though. Let's just do the first 10 chains together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pull the hook out and put it into the first chain. Make sure the chain is not twisted and put that back on. And I want you to continue to count to the number that you need. So it's either 48, 54, 60, or 66. So I'm currently at 10, so 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go to the number and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm currently at 54. So you may have 48, 60, or 66. If this is your final one, I want you just to continue to pull it through to form the center ring. This will stretch a bit, so if you think it's a little too small, you've got to just do 2 rounds and see where you're going to land before you start getting all panicky. We're now going to continue though, because we're not done. We need to come down and create an extension coming down, and then we're going to then, on round number 1, we're going to spin all the way around. Let's do this next. So at this point, I'm going to give you 2 options. And the first option is as it's written, and then next option is going to be if you want to do the second one so it looks like a mirror of the first one, so it's not identical to where the seam line is, so that the seam line will end up on the same side of your garment. I need you to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're now going to go 7th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And in the 7th one, you're going to place in 3 double crochet. This is going to be just one side of your top. Okay. And so we need to turn the corner before we move on and chain 3, and then come back into the same one and put 3 double crochet. So I'm going to tell you that this is the right side of your shirt if you're right-handed, and if you're left, it's your left-hand side. And because I'm going to show you a difference in the next part of this tutorial on changing this so that the seam line always stays in the same section for both sides. So we're going to chain 1, and we are going to then skip 2, 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and place in 3 double crochet. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to come to the connection spot. If you're not sure which side that you're going to be working down, see how it transitioned in color, getting lighter? So we're coming back, so this is the start of the chain that we want to work with. So we're going to come into the connection spot where we did the slip stitching to connect those, and place in 3 double crochet. It's going to look a little sloppy in the beginning, but it will settle out in time. And then chain 1. So you got to make sure you chain 1 after each group of 3. You're now going to come across and work down the chain. So just start on where you started, skip 2 chain, 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and place in 3 double crochet. So you're going to work all the way around this chain to the connection spot right here, but we're not going to be done. I'm just going to get you there, and then we're going to carry on to show you how to finish the round completely. So you'll chain 1, skip another 2 on the chain, so 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and put in 3 double crochet. And then chain 1, skipping 2 more on the chain, 1, 2, go to the 3rd. Please do this all the way to the connection spot, and we'll talk about how many of these you needed. We talked about that in the introduction, but we'll go through that one more time to make sure you have the right number, especially if you're doing 2 of these, 2 panels, which you need. You want to make sure this number is right for both of them before you carry on, and we'll be back in a moment. I'm coming around, and my last one here is going to be on the underside of this one right here. Okay, this was the connection spot, and so we are going to then just put in your 3 double crochet there. So it's on the opposite side of that chain 12. And before I continue, I want to make sure that I have the right number of groups of 3 double crochet before I go too far. I'm going to chain 1 after that, just so you know. So I should be able to count from the connection spot here all the way around a certain number. For the smallest size, there's 17. So count this one all the way and count that last one. There should only be 17. For my size, large, there's 19. The next size up, there's 21, and then the final size is 23. Make sure you have that number, especially if you're doing 2 of these panels, because if one is off, it's going to make one side of your top wrong. So we're going to continue down the chain. So I already told you I chained 1 already, and you're going to come into the opposite side to where this one is and place in 3 double crochet. And then chain 1, and the first one has already been done, but right where this connection is, right there, you're going to place in 2 double crochets only. And I'm going to have you change something that's not in the pattern, but it's just my own experience. We're going to slip stitch to the 3rd one up, and the difference that I'm going to tell you to do right now is that I want you to slip stitch to this next chain 3 spot, and then turn. Okay, we're going to turn our work, and then we're on the opposite side of the work, and now we're going to go back in the opposite direction coming around, and we'll do that next. So this is me improvising. If you're not watching the tutorial, you'll never know about it, but you'll chain 2 only. It says to chain 3 when we go to start, but I only want you to chain 2. It'll make the join a lot cleaner looking. That's my experience. And you want to come into the same one at the join and place only 2 double crochet. So with the chain 2 and these 2 double crochet, that gives you the secret number of 3. You're going to follow this around like a regular granny at this time. So you'll chain 1, come into your next spot. Okay, it's the next space, 3 double crochet. Chain 1, and then go into your next space. So it'll get longer in this direction, but also it'll start being able to work up over top of your shoulders as you go. So what I'll do is I'll come all the way around, and then I'll show you how to finish this and to turn your work for number 3, and you need a total of 19 rows altogether. And then we're going to come back after that, and I'll show you how to do the left hand side panel then, because I'm going to have you change where this is connecting, and I'll be right back. I'm coming around, and so one side I'll have a flat spot, which is the very bottom of your top. And as we go around and around, it gets wider and wider to wrap around your body. Okay, and we're going to make sure that we get that nicely done. And then the rest of it is just a straight follow around the ring. So we're not technically adding any stitches other than this one side to make it wider. In the corners, you'll be applying 3 double crochet, chain 3. And then, so put 3 more double crochets to turn. And then chain 1. And this is where we started. See how it looks weird? This is where you started. So this is your final. So there will be 3 double crochets to finish. Now you have 2 ways to finish. If you were going to do color strategy and change out your yarn, you need to chain 3 and slip stitch to the chain 2. If you want to keep this color going, you're going to chain 1 and do a half double crochet to the top of the chain 2. And this will keep it nice and equal. So go right into the chain work, do not go into a space. And you're going to half double crochet, and that'll keep you nice and balanced. And then at the end of that, you're going to turn your work. So even if you're joining new yarn, you'll still have to turn your work. And if you're joining new yarn, just attach with a slip stitch, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same spot. If you're continuing like I am, I'm still only going to chain 2 because it'll keep a nice join. And then you're going to apply 2 more double crochet in the beginning one. And then chain 2 and work your way across. So what you're paying attention to the most is that 90-degree turn is along the flat bottom. So chain 1. So if it's a 90-degree turn like this, it's 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Okay, got that. And then you just carry on. So you're just going to carry on, go all the way around, and then you'll come back to the very beginning, and I'll see you there in a few moments. And then we're going to start part 2 of doing the other panel to keep that join consistent on the sample. Okay, and I'll be right back. So coming back around, and you can see that this is the last one. See how it looks kind of unusual? This side, it's completely done for the corner. This is a portion. So we're just going to finish it off. We're going to put 3 double crochet. And I already told you in the last round on how you would change it if you were changing colors. So I would keep this going. So chain 1 and then do a half double crochet to the top. So to start the next round, you're going to turn your work and then go back across. So just to recap, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the same corner, and then move along. So chain 1, and keep on going across and around and then back. So you need to do a total of 19 rounds of this, and do not fasten off the yarn. So if you're doing 2 at the same time, just keep your yarn continuing on to the next round. But I'm going to show you the left-hand version now if you'd like to change this, and I am going to just finish this off right here, and I want to show you the difference then on changing the location of that. And it may not even matter to you, but it matters to me. So this is considered the right side of the project. So the yarn is changing right here on this corner. So when it's wrapped around your body, see, the yarn transition is not on the front of your body where you're probably going to be photographed the most. So in this instant, where it's changing, it's perfect. But if I do the second one exactly the same way, when I go to fold the like this, you see that the front edge is going to look like it's misaligned. So what I want to do is that I want to change that location to over here. So when I fold it, this other side will be having the transition on the back of it. And that's going to be our next focus on the next part of this tutorial. So let's begin. I've already shown you how to start, but if you'd like just a quick recap, just chain the number that you wanted to create that first circle. So in my case, it was a total of 54. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if I just pull it out, put the first one on, make sure it's not twisted in any weird way, and then continue all on. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So either you're going to chain 48, 54, 60, or 66, and we'll see you at the end of that in a moment. So I've chained the number that I need. So this here happens to be 54. You may have 48, 60, or 66. Just pull it through, and now you have your ring. So we're now going to chain 12 like we did before. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And this is the exact moment that we're going to change that connection spot. So we'll do that next. 7th chain from the hook, we're going to count back from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And in that 7th one, you were going to place in 3 double crochet. Last time we did this, we did something slightly different, and I'll explain that in a second. So to move on, you're chaining 1 and then skipping 2 on the chain and 3 double crochet in the next chain. And what you did differently on the right side panel is that when you went 7th chain from the hook, you actually put in 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So by starting it like this, we're moving our starting point to this corner instead of the other corner. So chain 1, come into the connection spot. So you got 3 double crochet into the connection. And if you're not sure which one to follow, see how the darker color here. So it's like this, because the darker color came around and then back around. So chain 1, and at the beginning of the chain, you're going to skip 2 and put 3 double crochet in the next chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1, skip 2, 1, 2, go to the 3rd, and 3 double crochet, and then chain 1. So I'll see where they connect right here like we did before, and we'll show you how to finish this off, and so that your connection is changed. And I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming around this thing. Now you're going to have the number like you had before. So it was either 17, 19 was my size, the large, and then 21 or 23. And so the one with the connection spot should give you that exact number. So I now have 19. Okay. so that should be the exact same number. So this is slightly different on how you're going to finish this round. And you're going to chain 1. You're going to come into the bottom section of there, 3 double crochet. You can let me know in the comments if you actually did see the difference. Chain 1, right where this is, you're going to put in 3 double crochet. And technically after the 3 double crochet, we would have just started to find the connection spot and join it, but we're missing an edge, which is intentional. So we're going to chain 3 to turn, and we're going to put 2 more double crochet in here. And I want you to slip stitch it to the 3rd chain up. And what we've done is that we've now just moved ourselves to this corner instead of this one. But before you go any further, just slip stitch right into that chain 3 space, and then you're going to turn your work and begin the next row. So let's do that. To start another row, it's just like I showed you before. We're going to chain 2 only. I think it looks sharper, you decide. Chain 3 is technically right though. And then you're going to put in 2 more double crochet in that corner, and you'll finish that corner when you get back around. You're going to chain 1, come into this new corner, so it'll be 3 double crochet to start. Okay, chain 3 to turn, and 3 double crochet in. And then you keep on moving down. So chain up 1, and you're going to continue to go all the way around to this connection spot. Okay. And we're going to put in your 3 double crochet, and then chain 1 and 3 double crochet like a regular granny. So just follow it around, and the only time you're ever gaining the number of stitches is actually on the flat edge here at the bottom of your shirt, and the rest of it is growing out on the top of your shoulder. So chain 1, next space, and so on. I'll see you at the end of the round. I'll be back in a moment. So just finishing the round, and there's 3 double crochet into the final corner. Okay, so if you are finishing this color completely, just chain 3 and slip stitch to the top of the chain 2. If you want to keep this color, just chain 1 and half double crochet to the top of the chain 2. You decide what you prefer. There's no right or wrong, just it's preference really. So see how I grabbed a space? I don't want that because it'll stay open. So I want to make sure that I get into a chain situation. I always try to grab 2 strands and then do it. So you can see it's grabbed onto a chain instead of a space. So then you'll still turn your work. If you're grabbing new yarn and starting brand new yarn, you'll slip stitch, chain 2 and 2 double crochet into there, and then you'll carry on. If you're in my situation right now, you'll chain 2 and put in 3 double crochet in the first, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet in the next space. Just make sure you chain 1 in between. Okay, and just go all the way around, and I'll see you at the first corner, which will be right here. So you're just following it around and getting here, and I'll be there in a moment. I'm coming around. This is a full corner, so I want to make it a full corner on this side. So 3 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochet. Coming along the bottom, just chain 1, so the bottom gets wider and wider. So 3 double crochet in those chain 1 spaces. And I can tell that this looks a little weird, so that's our beginning. And so you'll place in your 3 double crochet to start. And you can let me know in the comments how you're finishing your corners, but I just do a chain 1 and then a half double crochet to the beginning. Chain 2. Okay. And so you need to go back and forth so that you end up having 19 rounds altogether. So I just count from here, like you can follow it. So count 1, 2, and 3 rounds are now done. And I'm gonna bring back the other sample to show you the difference of the two that we've been doing with by changing the connection spot. So you can see on the left-hand side right here, I changed the connection spot. So you see it here. So the right side is facing up. I've got my 3 rounds. So when I fold this over to be able to do it, that the connection spots are going to be on the back of the project. And when I fold this one over, it's going to be on the back as well. Sorry, this is the sleeve out. So it'll be on the back. Therefore, I'll have a nice front face so that the corners just transition around. And on the back of it, if we turn it over, the connection spots will be on the back of there as well. So you have to decide what you prefer. I just think it, for my own personal taste, if I'm going to do this, I don't want one front side looking weird from the other front side. So I prefer this option. I would prefer the connection spots be on the same side. And in my case, I want it behind me and not in front. You can decide what you want to do. I need you to do 19 rounds for both of these panels. And when I see you on the next video, we're going to continue. Make sure that you do not fasten off, and we'll get ready for the next row in the next video.